With Jimmy Johnson, I'd go to the outside.
Look at Junior. He slams up to the outside. He's going to take the lead with 5 laps to go.
Unbelievable. For the first time today, Dale Earnhardt Jr. leads the 500, but not for long. Here comes Stewart and a big pack on the bottom.
Boy, Junior should have dove to the bottom and closed that door up. He had the pass made.
Let's see if he can get that run off turn 2. Jeff Gordon in the 24th trying to push him. It's a drag race down the backstretch.
Jeff Gordon's car is just not performing right now like Junior's is. Pony should be a set duck. He's got 3 great cars on the outside. There's Jeff giving Junior a push.
I know. Another NASCAR fan pining for better days of the sport. But what I want to ask you is if you noticed something about that clip. Something that broadcasters don't really do as much today. For me, it was the crowd noise. While they didn't do this for every week or every finish or even every great finish, I distinctly remember that when this finish happened, it ramped up the intensity of the moment. I know it's something small, but it's little things like this that can add so much, especially for either younger fans or first-time viewers like I was that day. Another thing I noticed looking back at old races was this camera angle.
You really have to be able to talk to them as long as he can hear.
I know these cameras can still be used today, and they are from time to time, but it really helps show something that I think has been missed in modern broadcasts. Speed, and the sense of speed. The sense of speed is something that I really think draws people into the sport. But with the static cameras that we have today, and the limited mobility that they use, the sense of speed is kind of lost. It looks less pronounced than it would if it had a fixed setup camera where it was in just one spot watching the cars go by, or with the camera quickly moving with the cars. Ones like these.
Dale Earnhardt, the 3 car's been up front all day long, but right now he seems to be struggling. He's falling back to the 9th.
Pushed by the car his father used to drive. The 20.
Again, all of these were used sporadically throughout the day in these broadcasts. They weren't used every time the cars went on the backstretch or every time the cars went by them, but I feel like with a little more use at each track, they can be better used to draw more people in the modern day. If the way that NASCAR gets sponsorship and TV time is any indication, appearance is extremely important. Another thing that would be good for cameras are ones in the helmets of the drivers. Maybe 2 or 3 each race, for example. For instance, the Chicagoland race this coming year could have helmet cams on Kyle Busch and Kyle Larson in light of last year's finish, while offering a third for maybe a fan vote driver. Throughout the playoffs, have helmet cams on bubble drivers for different playoff races or the Final Four at Miami. It'd be a fun way to have the fans see their favorite driver's view of a memorable finish or even taking the checkered flag. Like imagine this year if the view we got for Joey Logano winning the championship was him watching the checkered flag fly over him. It'd be amazing. So now I want to have a few things on here for a moment that would be directed at specific networks. First to Fox, as it is first in the year. I think it'd be a good deal to have the nonstop coverage for the Daytona 500, similar to the way TNT and Turner used to for the Daytona Summer Race. For such a huge race, it'd be amazing to know that I wouldn't have to miss any of the action, even during the commercial breaks. Also, if Fox could try and have a more extensive post-race coverage instead of pre-race, I think it would be greatly beneficial. Unlike their similar setup for the NFL coverage, the predictions and analysis for NASCAR pre-race shows tend to be more wrong than right. Having a longer post-race show planned would benefit to give races an opportunity for more extensive coverage with more to talk about afterwards, as well as having a larger time slot space after the normal time slot in case a race goes long or gets postponed for whatever reason. Also, Fox, please have the Waltrips tone it down just a little bit. They're great personalities, and every time I've met them, they've always been good people and kind to me. But they can go a tad overboard during races and yell over the calls of the race. Let them be themselves, but just not to the point of absurdity. Like tripping over cars on pit road, accidentally dumping a taco on the back of a car, or screaming through Mike Joy's calls of a finish. As for NBC, stop the start-finish line interviews. For the love of God, it's cool the first time, but that shit got so old, man. What's the point now of a Victory Lane interview if you just did the same interview 5 to 10 minutes ago? I can just imagine the crew sitting there awkwardly in Victory Lane waiting for their driver. That used to be reserved for when drivers shit themselves. I overall love the coverage this year, but by Michigan, it was like each broadcast had a faceplant as the final move. Also, I think many fans can agree that there were times where the NBC coverage caught the Fox Sports syndrome of yelling over each other. It was annoying. But overall, I give NBC a lot of credit. NBC Sports tried a lot of different things this year. Some hit, some missed. They brought a new energy to what, at this point of the season when they had come in, was a stale season. So hopefully NBC can keep the good momentum, and Fox can get back to as good as it was in the past few years before this contract started up. So now I'd pass it off to you. What do you think? Am I off? Did I forget anything? Or did I hit the nail on the head? Let me know down below. And until next time, have a good one.